So this month has been absolutely whack for me so far. Let's recap. If you haven't taken a moment to read, I'm employed now. I work a 4 p.m. to midnight job. It gives me time to draw for these videos, which is nice. Because of the downtime, I had plans, I have to tell you. I've even got a new mic. There are songs and lyrics I have written up that need vocals. But then, on the first day of Pride Month, I got extremely sick. And now as I write this, any speaking makes me go into a coughing fit. To think, when it started, I debated singing through it. What a fool I was. I do like sitting down and putting together speed paint footage sometimes, and I figured this might be a moment for that. It's my way of going, do not be alarmed, I am not dead this time. Of course, I recognize that this might not have the same relaxing vibe that my other speeches do. So you know what? Fuck that. You all get some music to jam to. Enjoy the art in the meantime. This robo voice might pop in to do character ramblings. Godspeed. A lot of this art is rather old, but it'll get more recent as the speedput continues. I recently got a hard drive for my tablet, which means I'm able to do some of my work much more easily. Apple products are not good. If Apple ever wants to sponsor me, I will slam the door in their face. But I digress. What you're seeing right now is a drawing from years ago where I was making humanoid versions of all the Kirby characters. Bandana was the fourth I did, and the one of the first drawings I ever made on Procreate. The other 3 drawings I made on another program that is also several years old, and I can't even find it by looking in the App Store anymore. I don't even remember the name of it. Oh okay, just looked through previously purchased app history. It's called Brushes Rida. It was alright. Procreate is definitely better, but hey, Brushes Rida is free, has enough features to be happy with, and has a simple interface. Or, at least, it did the last time I used it. Where was I? What day is it? ADHD is kicking my ass. Is it obvious? At some point I'd love to redesign and redraw my humanoid versions, as I'm much better at drawing different body types than I was years ago. I mean, I'm much better at drawing everything than I was years ago. You know these drawings in these videos. I made those. Fuck yeah. Some of the thought behind this design is that I wanted to lean into the idea of Bandana being a soldier, and had some connections to the Deed's design like the fur. If I get around to redesigning this, I think I'd want to put more warmth in the color palette, as I feel I focused too much on the blue. This next one will be a short one. This is a fan kid idea. I'm not as into Cookie Run these days, but I do still really like the character Cream Unicorn. Let me explain. Cream Unicorn is basically the mascot for an abandoned magical theme park. They have the ability to kind of tap into nostalgia. Their magic is based around memories and dreams, and they can use this magic to transform into a unicorn. Listen, when you experience it, it makes sense. And like, they are canonically non-binary. And that is so important to me. Obviously I'm very into pastels myself, and I'm also non-binary, so it makes me feel very seen. They are just like me for real. As for who I'm pairing them with, hear me the fuck out. This is Fig. They are a centaur with a bad Scottish accent who plays cute music and is a friend with the forest. And I think they would be cute as fuck together. Which, logically, means I was asked by a friend what their femkid would look like. So peritons. Peritons are these really cool mythological creatures that are fusions of deer and birds, usually peacocks. I thought it was fitting. These ones are just some further off sketches. One of them I decided not to finish because it was an attempt at a redesign. I've since thought of something that appeals to me more. If I'm lucky, you will all see it soon. This next one is some more cookie remix. My sib of another Crig wrote elaborate headcanon lore for the pomegranate cookies and encouraged me to make characters based on that lore, so I went ahead and did that. These two are pomegranate root and pomegranate shell. Root is very much my favorite of the two. Shell is more based on the idea of obsessive attachment, whereas Root is a bit more detached, and something about detached characters really gets me sometimes. It might also help that Root leads a double life as a mercenary to support herself, her sister, and her community. Shell, meanwhile, modeled her very appearance after someone she admires. I might honestly redraw Shell's design at some point, as I think I overdid the shading a bit here, and I'd like some of her details to be clearer. And these next two are Get More X. Indigo and Sapphire are two siblings out of three, the third of which I haven't fully drawn in years. Indigo is originally an O version of a character that I used to RPS. Over time, though, he became more divorced from the narrative he was based on. The creator made some huge mistakes with their writing. At a certain point, I just decided he would be his own character, and wrote him as such. Sapphire was based on another character in said narrative, but she very much started from the point of I can write this character better, so the transition was much shorter. Shard is a much older character writing-wise, though ironically is the youngest sibling. Regardless, I adore them all. character may look a bit familiar if you've been here a while. This is Verit Barlakadan. He's the battlesmith artificer I played for a D&D campaign. Since his start, he has evolved a lot as a character, you may be delighted to know, and he's now multiclassing as an artificer wizard, specifically a lore mastery wizard. That said, he still has a lot of love for his boyfriends. Oh yeah, he has multiple boyfriends and a partner now. Make no mistake, though, he will scratch you if you get too close for comfort. Probably my favorite part of designing Verit is his hair. I really liked the idea of Verit having this style known as calico hair. That got me to think about the ways I could depict different colored strands of hair. I might go for a different method next time, but either way, it was fun. Lastly, Behemoth, or Beep for short. This is a BG3OC of mine, a Tiefling Bard Dirge. I thought it would be fun to explore some of the themes of the Dark Urge quest line through a Tiefling Bard. Namely, I think a few twists hit all the more harder if they're a Tiefling Bard. He also has a lot of elements to them I just really like. They're an artist. They love gold, and have an urge toward coins, and know several coin tricks. A lot of their appearance is asymmetrical, and it plays into the two halves of their lives, one half consumed by the urge, the other half consumed by creativity. I just had the idea of them in a pose with a rapier in my head for a while, and figured this was the best way to deal with that. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'm definitely getting at least one song out this month no matter what. If I don't recover by the end of the month, hey, at least you might see more of these sorts of videos.